This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN.
Marvel's Spider-Man. No, I'm not talking about Marvel's Spider-Man 2018 for the PlayStation. I'm talking about Marvel's Spider-Man 2017, the TV show.
That's not a nice thing to say.
So this show came after Ultimate Spider-Man, a show that wasn't very good, but it looked great. And so after Ultimate, we have Marvel's Spider-Man, a show which is not only not great, but it also doesn't look great either. So you're left wondering, why am I watching this show if not only for Spider-Man? Main thing, everyone knows this show looks mediocre. It's desaturated, it's just not pretty to look at. And if you don't believe me, funny story. A while back, I actually got stills from this show and edited them to make it look better. And here's the thing, even the Marvel's Spider-Man wiki knows this show looks bad, to the point that they actually used my edit in their website. When I posted a tweet about it, they probably found out, and so they replaced my edit with their own edit. So in the end, they didn't replace my edit with a still from the show, they replaced my edit with their own shoddy edit. They can't even let the show stand on its own for what it is. They have to create this edited version to make it look good. And you can tell, by the way, that this is fake. But Mauricio, how can you tell it's fake? Thank you, me, for asking. So the reason why I know it's fake isn't because I've watched this entire show and I know which episode this is from. It's because just look at his shoulder. Look at the shoulder. That's not a real shadow. No professional animator that gets paid would ever make a shadow like that. And one of the things that really bums me out is that genuinely talented people were working on this show. There's this artist, Grace Liu, she worked on this show. She's fantastic. I mean, look at this. This is so expressive, so dynamic, really cool. But then the show just doesn't look as expressive. It's like Disney said, okay, we're gonna get great storyboard artists, concept artists, and animators, but you know, the shading, the lighting, the compositing, everything else, just who cares? And ultimately, that leaves you with a show that doesn't look finished. But did you hear what I said earlier? I said the storyboarding and the animation was good. Everything else is kind of forgotten about. I started this video wanting to reanimate this show, but that's when I actually looked at the show and realized the animation is actually good.
Hey, Dad!
The show doesn't really need reanimating, it just needs supplemental animation. So while reanimating Marvel's Spider-Man isn't necessarily true, I am kind of doing additional animation and fixing up this show to make the show look the best it can be. While we're working, why don't I tell you about today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Here's the thing, everyone, surfing the web unprotected is extremely dangerous. There genuinely are malicious hackers out there wanting to steal your data. Not just that, your own internet service provider can see and sell your data. And that's why you need a virtual private network, specifically Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN gives you the power to protect your online privacy, control your personal data, access content safely, unlock exclusive benefits, and it has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So a VPN changes your IP address, and you can essentially be anywhere in the world, and that allows you to access content that's not available where you are. So say you're not in the US, and you want to watch the spectacular Spider-Man, all you have to do is set your VPN to the United States, and there it is. And Surfshark is great. One account can be used on an unlimited number of devices. It's available for PC, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, Amazon Fire Stick. There's 3,200 servers in 65 countries. It is military-grade encryption, so all your data is blurred. You can even set up 2 VPN servers between you and your online destination for even more privacy and security. And you can purchase a 24-month VPN plan. It's seriously one of the best options you can find right now, and if you use my link or scan the QR code on screen, you can get 3 months for free. That's 83% off. It's that easy to just download the VPN via my link or scan the QR code and enter the promo code Browntable83, the one right there on screen. Check out Surfshark VPN. It helps out the channel if you check them out. And thank you Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to Spider-Man. Now, I want to find out what the worst episode of this show is. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to IMDb. I'm going to look for the show, Marvel's Spider-Man, and I can't find it. I can't find Marvel's Spider-Man. Where is Marvel's Spider-Man? Where's Marvel's Spider-Man? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go to Google. I'm gonna have to use Google. Okay, it's like IMDb was hiding this show. I found it. So actually, I have no idea how to find what's the highest and lowest rated episode on IMDb, so I'm just gonna look up lowest rated Spider-Man 2017. There we go. Okay, so the worst episodes of Marvel's Spider-Man. Thank you, Episode Ninja. Never heard of you, but shout out to you. You guys are great. And it seems like the worst episode is Bring on the Bad Guys 3. So I'm hoping this episode is just the perfect example of what this show is at its worst, so we can make it look like it's at its best. So we have this Spider-Man and Prowler fight. It's a just broad daylight, looks very boring. The animation even is kind of like, it's there, but also it's just not... It's not intense enough to actually be interesting, so this is what we're going to be fixing up today. So in Clip Studio, I'm going to get every frame, and then I'm going to put it into a sequence so that I can actually, you know, scrub and I'll see it animated. It's the show essentially, but in another program, going frame by frame. The first thing I want to do is add shadows, but the first thing I have to think about when approaching shadows is, where's the light coming from? If I scroll through this entire scene, it just kind of feels like the light is somewhere, and that's fine, but I really want to beautify this to the biggest, greatest, highest degree because we want to see what the full potential of this show can be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the sun right here in the back, and that means that the Prowler is going to be in full shadow for the shot. We're going to start just drawing in the shadows. One thing I just realized is that the Prowler has this like a prowl gun, and that thing is like wonky in this scene, so it's like sparking up and being all electric and stuff. So what I'm gonna do here to make it still glow is to easily just erase my own shadow, and what's under that is just the regular, you know, drawing without any shading at all, and it makes it look like the thing is actually glowing, and that's a really cool effect, and that's something that you can't really get when there is no shadow in a scene. So you see how cool that looks compared to an extremely flat image? That's what I'm looking for. So Spider-Man, the same thing. Now the sun is coming from his right side, so his left side will be kind of darkened, and that's where I'm going to apply the shadows. And to know kind of where the shadows are going to go, it's kind of important to understand lighting and shading. Here, for the darker parts, you kind of have to understand where muscle structures are and how the human anatomy is to be able to make the shadows kind of wrap around the body. Editing Mauricio here, I'm just going to quickly scrub through what I've been working on. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but in this running scene, I kind of don't like this weird evading animation that they did, so I'm going to just cut it. I'm going to replace the wonky animation with a white screen, so it's as if Prowler shot his laser thing, and then when we cut back, we're going to cut back to this frame, and then it'll look like he just kind of leapt to the side. And ultimately, the entire sequence is now shaded. Hello, hello, hello? Alright, so it's the second day doing this thing, and I just realized that while the visuals will be different, I can still be claimed through audio, which means that I'm gonna have to be creating the audio from scratch. So that's gonna be fun. The one thing that will be fun will be voicing Spider-Man, because I'm a Spider-Man simp. Hey, yeah, I'm here. I'm just here because I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Why won't these villains just let me finish my homework?
Why won't these villains let me finish my homework is the first line I've got to do. Why won't these villains just let me finish my homework? Because I skipped like 2 shots, I have to come up with Prowler dialogue. I gotcha now. I gotcha now. I gotcha now. Cute trick. Cute trick. Cute trick. Can you blame a guy? Can you blame a guy?
I thought I'd be lonely in here.
The main thing I had to think about when compositing was where the light is going to come from and how it's going to look. Adding some lens flares helped a lot, but also to make the characters feel like they're in the space, I actually had to essentially create cutouts of the characters and then remove that so it feels like parts of the character aren't being illuminated by the light surrounding them. And I didn't just add light, I added shadows as well to give the overall image a lot more depth. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the final product. It took 2 days to complete and then a little more to get this video done. So now, I hope you enjoy what Marvel's Spider-Man could have looked like if they gave the show, I'm assuming, a bigger budget and more time to truly make this show shine. Why won't these villains just let me finish my homework?
I gotcha now. Cute trick.
Can you blame a guy? I thought I'd be lonely in here. Why won't these villains just let me finish my homework?
I got you now. Cute trick.
Can you blame a guy? I thought I'd be lonely in here. And yeah, that's it. Thanks so much everyone for watching the video. I had a lot of fun making this one, seriously. I've always wanted to talk about Marvel's Spider-Man and approach it in my own way, and I felt like this was the most unique way to do so. I'll eventually watch the show and talk about that, but I wanted to delve into it in a different way than usual. If you don't know what to watch after this, maybe check out Interstellar Ranger Commence. It's this animated series I'm developing. Episode 2 is coming out very soon. It would mean the world to me if you checked it out, thanks so much. And speaking of Interstellar Ranger Commence, thanks so much Mario for this drawing of Hope Griffin from Interstellar Ranger Commence. It looks sick as hell and I love the pose, thank you so much. Thank you so much patrons for supporting the channel as you usually do. You guys are the best, I really hope you enjoyed this video. And hey, if you subscribe and turn on notifications, you will officially have a seat at the table. You will have a chair, you are not a chair, you will have a chair to sit on at the brown table. And trust me, it's a giant fucking table. It seats 300,000 people. That's a lot of people, okay? And we all have Spider-Man powers too. If you subscribe and turn on notifications, yeah, you will eventually get the powers of Spider-Man. And that's not a lie, because Spider-Man exists. So yeah, thanks so much everyone for watching, and I hope you come back to the table.